I've already spoken in another video about how to say no when you are doing your PhD and why you should. But today, let's face it, we are also told no many times before we even graduate or land a professor job. The path of academia is full of rejection. So today, let's take a deeper dive how we can handle rejection more professionally and how to keep our mind sane so that we are not going insane because of rejections and we are not going to be alcoholic and drinking too much. That's why I call PhD coffee time instead of PhD beer time, because we may have too many beers if every time we get a rejection. Welcome back to PhD Coffee Time. This is the online community for you as PhD student to get motivation, peer support, and practical tips during your PhD. I want you to remember a no is just a not now and not here. And sometimes it's good to have a no, because when you know someone is rejecting you, you can now refocus your energy to something nicer. Think of yourself like a gardener. You are cutting off branches that are no longer healthy and cutting off fruits that are not the best one, and you're growing the best one where it should be. So sometimes a no is a great clarifying answer and is healthy for us. So I hope we can change the mindset thinking a no is a statement that we are feeling like a failure, because it's just a part of life. If someone says no to you, that means you have the space and energy and resources to explore something else. I'm now in medical writing. The process of drug development is an example we can all learn from about rejection. That's the basis of science. Most of our research will never have an effect on anyone's life, like an applied science field. We just need to learn that there is a conversion factor on how many times you try and how many times you will be successful. And in academia, every 100 persons graduated from PhD, maybe 10 to 20 of them landed a faculty job. There's a statistic out there, you can check it out. So in today's video, I hope I can help you handle failure, and I hope you can learn a systematic way to process failure and keep going as a PhD researcher. When I first wrote my grant proposal in my last postdoc, it doesn't get funded. I was furious. I felt personally attacked. How can this person not understand that this is an important field of research? Sometimes the rejection is because basically I didn't submit to the right agency, or maybe I haven't said enough about how my research can imply an important part of this funding agency mission. By the way, everyone should read the mission of the funding panel so that you know your application is going to help the officer fulfill their mission, because this is what funding application is about. You're writing an idea so that when they fund you, they can say to the bosses saying, hey, I funded exploration of Mars and this is 10% of our grant that's supposed to go there. So do your research, and first thing is don't take it personally. It's not about you. It's not a personal attack. It just means it's not now and not here. Maybe not the right time, not the right funding opportunity. Secondly, you need to think of failure as a learning experience. In Chinese, we say failure is the mother of success. 失敗乃成功之母. And it's cliche, but I think there's a lot of truth to it. So every time when you're failing, list out the possibility of why you have failed. If you wrote to a professor for a postdoc interview and you didn't hear back from that person, did you send the email with the right tone, with the right tailored information about that PI? Did you start every sentence with an I so that it shows that you are not a good writer? Or have you overwhelmed that person with too many attachments? It becomes very spammy. You can reflect the rejection. Try to integrate that as a data point on how you can do better the next time. You may be clueless. Sometimes you can ask feedback from other people. They may tell you a little more what to avoid. As long as you're learning and improving 10% each time from the last failure, to me, I think they are not actually failure. They are just a path for you to become successful. I hope this is going to give you a little bit of motivation over the long run and keep pushing if you want to stay in academia. In fact, when you are applying for non-academic jobs, there's also a lot of failure, and I hope my other video on informational interview is going to help you if you are at the point of thinking, I will switch from being a PhD academic person to going to a STEM science research job outside of academia. And don't forget, there are also resources such as the Grad Grid on LinkedIn that you can join, and also Papa PhD podcast. You can listen to different narrative of people getting post-PhD working experience, and they are valuable to just listen to them when you're working in the lab. So in other video, I've already shared how I would track every minute of my lab work and writing back in my postdoc. I also like you to rethink how you handle failure by distancing your own personal feeling to it, maybe tracking your effort of how you overcome this rejection. And my suggestion, if you're applying for grant or postdoc, they are going to be in the shadow behind the scenes of everyday research life. So schedule time to focus on that, maybe 1 hour in the morning if you're applying for job or postdoc position, and write out many rows of countries and institutions. Write down the quick thoughts. Compartmentalize this negative emotion so that when you finish the timer in 45 minutes to 1 hour, you're feeling fresh and you can now handle your other challenges in your day. And if you're only doing it in the weekend, maybe 45 minutes for Saturday and Sunday, I think that's something how I will compartmentalize my effort. Distance yourself from that feeling of failure, because there's a lot of work to be done, and you can't do the work if you are upset and emotional. So I hope my sharing about how you handle failure is going to help you to be a stronger-minded postdoc or PhD. Because if you learn one thing as an academic, is rejection is the norm of everything in life. Be systematic, track your failure, you'll become stronger tomorrow. And don't over-consume beer. You can drink more coffee, but it's good for you to remain not intoxicated so that you have good quality brain to process tomorrow. Nothing wrong with beer, one is okay. Anyway, I hope this sharing is inspiring you and keeping you energized for your endeavor. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you the next time.